Good afternoon. Afternoon, Buzzcheck. Afternoon, Alex. How are we doing? Happy Friday. No, it's not Friday. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I don't know which day of the week it is. Right. We're off. Markets are open. Markets are moving pretty quick at the open as well. Where's my pen gone? There it is. Afternoon, Brian. Afternoon, Robert. So big move down on the Dow at the open. We're selling off as well a little bit on the S&P. There's no news today. It is a no news day. There's nothing on the calendar whatsoever. So any market movement today is just going to be pure manipulation. Afternoon, Virginia. So overnight news, if you weren't in the members stream this morning, we had the unemployment rate at 5.2 for the New Zealand dollar, which is bullish. So we've got some ADRs basically on New Zealand pairs. Obviously, they've pushed up because the news was positive. So movement up on New Zealand dollar. Apart from that, not really much else to look at today. Aussie dollar Swiss has moved a little bit as well. We've had some weakness come through on the Swiss franc. Euro Swiss also has moved to the upside. So those are your ADR opportunities today. There's not an awful lot of strong price action around these. As you can see, they've just kind of hit 100%. Weekly range hit is still the Aussie New Zealand. That's coming down nicely now because the New Zealand dollar strength, but still kind of sideways. RSI's totally flat, nothing to look at today. So totally dead today, apart from New Zealand dollar. So we're really sideways on everything. Had a little bit of movement on the dollar over the last hour or so. Weakness in the dollar. Kashkari came out and said potentially dropping rates seems appropriate twice this year. And he was kind of angling towards potentially doing it faster than anticipated. Possibly. So it's a little bit bearish, but other than that, nothing much else to report this morning. It's been fairly flat today so far. So this morning's ORBs, big push up there on the NASDAQ, huge drop on the Dow. Look at that. Dow is falling out of bed. NASDAQ pumping. So we've got divergence across the indices at the moment. 5-minute ranges will go in a second. We'll have a look at where we're going. Oof, that's really weird price action today. So this morning, there was no trade on the DAX this morning. The ORB this morning was too small. So we opened up, there's your 5-minute opening range was 56.50, 15%, which is my minimum I take, is 58.46 today. And we put in inside bars for the first hour, and then we suddenly broke down and we dropped. So no trades on that this morning. The FTSE this morning broke to the downside. It basically just hit straight onto this weekly support. And then it pushed back up inside range. Basically, because this sat around like this and the DAX also sat around, I said in the member stream this morning, I'm just going to take a tiny profit at that low if it gets back there and then break even the rest, which I did. So I took a small $200 profit on it this morning, £200. I should change that symbol. Profit on it this morning, but didn't go anywhere. So market's totally flat today so far. US, obviously, we are now on the move. So we'll see where we go. But there's no other news, nothing else planned. Russia has just announced it's going to increase its oil, or rather it's increase its Western oil exports by 2 million barrels per day in August. Basically following a drone strike. Doesn't appear to be much movement on oil on that. There is a little bit, as you can see. So a bit of a whipsaw and a push up. So increasing production or increasing export is going to get that oil out into the market faster. So I'm not really sure whether it's going to have too much impact on price, because obviously we're not increasing production necessarily. We're increasing the export of it. So it's not really going to affect supply demand, I don't think. So really no movement on that at the minute. But we'll keep an eye on that. That might move today. Right, there's your 5-minute opening ranges in. Long on the NASDAQ. S&P range is too small. We'll take a 10 or 15-minute range on that if we get movement. Long NASDAQ. Dow, we'll wait and see. This morning, I'm already up 325 on my funded account this morning, so I'm sitting here on micros today. I might take a micro trade, but this is day 5 of me needing to get $200 in the account to get paid. So I'm up 3.2. So I'm just going to keep this account. Just going to trade micros on it for fun today, really, because I'm up 325. If I see a decent opportunity, I might jump on it, but just want to get paid. Afternoon, everybody else. Well, so you look at gold at all? No. Any ADR opportunities on gold? Nope. Don't know. Have a look. Why is everybody so fascinated with gold? It's literally just the US dollar. It's a cross of the US dollar, like all the others. People love gold. Yes, there's no ADRs on it, is there? So ADR's miles away. That propulsion gap there is your downside target for longs. But it's not going anywhere today so far. Stopped out on the NASDAQ. So market looking heavy here. Bit of a whipsaw today. 2 grand did yesterday. So for those of you that weren't in the member stream this morning, ended up on 2K yesterday. Couldn't really fail to make money yesterday. Basically, if you took an opening range breakout yesterday, you really did have a choice but to make a load of money. Just collapsed. So you couldn't really not make money. The only people that didn't make money yesterday were the people that are trying to catch that falling knife. And obviously they have no hands left. So there you go. Don't catch falling knives. Go with momentum. Right. So inside bar forming at the moment on the Dow and the S&P. If there's any FX pairs you want to look at, let me know. But there's nothing opportunity-wise to look at all today. It's dead. It's flat. Afternoon, Michael, Noob, Mumble. How we doing? Holy Printo. No, Holly Printo. Sorry, I read that wrong. I was going to say Holy Printo, but it's not. It's Holly. Afternoon, Holly. Assuming female trader. Don't know. It might not be. I have also today, just to let you know, got a load of workmen coming round. So I may have to run. So I'm just keeping my phone there because I've got someone coming around to look at replacing my front door. So I might have to cut the stream short at some point, just letting you know. So hopefully we can make loads of money just before that happens. So there's your 10-minute range going in now. We've got 1 minute left on this candle, but there's your 10-minute range. So that's probably the best range to take a break off today. This is the NASDAQ. S&P is broken out to the downside. NASDAQ short. So S&P will probably get a break on that downside now. That's going to be big enough. So it's 11:34. So I'll be taking a break on the S&P as well. Okay, removing FTSE from my ORB doesn't make sense. Keeping it, yeah, get rid of it. If it's not making you money. It is, I mean, the trouble with the FTSE is twofold. First of all, the spread is terrible on the FTSE. There's no broker out there that gives you a decent spread on the FTSE. It is one of those indices because the majority of it is made up by financial stocks. And I mean, it's not all financial stocks, but I mean, the stocks in there are not exactly what you would call dynamic, are they? There's no Nvidias and things in there. So it's not the most exciting index. really. But I mean, it is profitable. That's why I keep it in the portfolio. But it's not. It's by far the worst. But it has its days. So if you have a bad day on the NAS, on the DAX, for example, like this morning, I wouldn't have made 300 this morning if it wasn't for the FTSE. However, if you weren't trading it like me and watching what's going on with price action and you're letting the EA just run, you just got stopped out. So horses for courses, isn't it? Right. I'm going to take a quick short. Oh, that's a big order. Didn't mean to go in that big. Stop that. That was way too big an order. That's a stupid thing to do. Right. I will get in with one contract short. Took 5 by accident there. And that just cost me about $60. So short on the NAS. I'm just going to stick my OLB the other side, I think, today. Short S&P as well. And approaching short on the Dow. So Dow's formed an inside bar. This could be a whippy session today. Really difficult. If we look at what happened yesterday. So obviously we had this big move down, second move down yesterday. So this is the continuation, potentially continuation short that's building at the moment. S&P, NASDAQ, same thing. Yeah, so 50% retracement, short leg starting. So this is potentially a continuation down of the markets at the moment. We obviously have had news that the interest rates looking like they're definitely going to be dropping. So potentially that might send the market off into a downward spiral. However, obviously it's all to do with the stocks and the stocks within the indices. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to drop on these, but obviously the markets at the moment aren't particularly happy with what's going on with the tariffs still. There's a lot of stuff going on at the moment that they're not happy with. So there's a lot less confidence in the market at the moment. If you look at the fear and greed index from yesterday, we've dropped down into neutral territory. So we are now, we're just ever so slightly in greed, but you know, we're not massively bullish at the moment, and it's dropping. So the market is starting to cool a little bit. It is also summer trading. So you tend to get a lot of whipsaw during summer trading, which obviously can be hideous. So just got to be a little bit careful. Don't overload, because if this thing wants to go into whipsaw territory, it's going to be expensive. So far, very little movement at the open. Obviously, what happened this morning on the DAX, you know, we sat around on the DAX this morning for an hour and went nowhere. So we've obviously had one stop out already on the NASDAQ. A little bit wary today. Replace your front door. It's a new house. Yeah, it's also got a faulty front door. So this is the beauty of buying a new house. All right. Anything goes wrong in my house, I go, I've got a problem, and they fix it. They just fix it. Because there's builders everywhere. Just fix it. They just fix it. They go, you got a problem with your front door? No problem. We'll just come and put on your front door in for you. Normally, if you've got a problem with your front door, you phone up a door company, they come around, they quote, and you go, that's £1,300, please. I phone up and go, I've got a problem with my front door. They go, we'll just pop a new one in. When do you want it done? Great. Going to stop out the NASDAQ. This isn't going nowhere today. Or is it pulling back? So this is 1 minute chart. Oh, I was going to say it's going to watch this propulsion gap for a bounce, but it's blown it. So that isn't going to happen. Okay, stopping out on the NAS. So whipsaw today. No money to be made. Stopped out S&P. It's going to be a down day. I think it's probably best just leave this today. Selling the highs is not a bad idea. In fact, I'm going to add one. It's not going to add a lot of risk. It takes me from $140 to $150. But obviously, if we are just going to stay in a whipsaw and rotation today, we should be selling these highs. This is the Globex high. So that's your high of the day. So market basically rejected the high of the day. So low of the day is down here, which is your Globex low. Can't see it, it's behind my head. But we've got a stop off there. We've got a propulsion gap there. So there's downside targets today. So, yeah, sell the high of the day, buy the low of the day type moves today. So we'll see if we can get just a rotation move out of this. See if I can just get it back to break even. Be nice to make that $60 back, but it's an extra $50 risk. Potentially decent move. Afternoon, Ryan. Afternoon, Meh. I got stopped out on nasty long yesterday and then broke short. US 500 got slipped on the news and the EA didn't take the trade. Stopped out on a nasty long. Yeah, so basically that's yesterday's ORB. Took a long, stopped out on the long, and then straight in on the short. But you couldn't not have got that trade on because it places pending orders. So there was a pending order there. If you're using the EA, obviously, if you're using the EA, there was a pending order there. So you can't not get on. If you got slipped on it, that candle broke through, pulled back. So even if you got slipped down to there, there's no way your stop loss got triggered at all. Miles away. You couldn't not have got that trade on yesterday. Oh, NASDAQ, not an S&P. Okay. NASDAQ. So NASDAQ long stopped out there, but you had a pending there. I mean, the pending got triggered there as well, and it never pulled back. There's no way you couldn't have got that on either. Oh, your range is 20%. Oh, if you're trading a different range, then yeah. Different range. Oh, God. NASDAQ stopping out. What a pain in the arse this is today. Gutted. Okay. Maybe I'm not going to get paid. Out. Oh, that's annoying. Now I've got to make back $140 to get paid. Pain in the arse. Should have just left it, shouldn't I, today? That's what happens when you muck about after you've been trading and you're up and you press the wrong button. If I hadn't pressed 5 contracts, I'd be fine. But I pressed 5 contracts. Fat fingers. Okay, long NASDAQ. Dow Jones is holding to the downside. S&P's broken long. This market is just absolute whipsaw today. So we've got a new high of the day. Upside resistance is 23,300. It changed my line. That's very annoying. So that's your upside resistance today. So I try to pull back long. Don't trust this today, though. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Can you look at Euro Pound? 5 positions short. So you got high, last month's high there. You're at Monday's high at the moment. You pulled out of that propulsion move. How can you be 5 short on that? Did you not get out on this? should really have been out on that. Yeah, I mean, I'll be watching this area here. If you need to take an aggressive, if we get there, that would be where I'd look at shorting it. Euro New Zealand, very similar. Euro New Zealand. If we get there, you've just had a nice reversal alert on that one. Got nice propulsion gaps to the downside as well to target. That looks good. New Zealand dollar obviously bullish at the moment, so you should be fine on Euro New Zealand. It's pulling back at the moment, but we've had decent news on the New Zealand dollar today. So that's a 50% retracement right now. But this is holding up, look, this propulsion move. This whole area is one order. What a mess. Look at the state of this. Okay, this is, I'm going to cancel. Oh, sorry, one sec. Yeah, sorry, I muted my mic. I've got to go. So basically all I was saying was on this, short on the Dow, I will take a short on the NASDAQ there. I'm going to cancel 6-bar ranges. Not going to take any more trades today. This is going to turn into somewhere around about 6 to 10 grand loss. If you keep trying to break out of this, it's not breaking out, it's stuck. Yeah, so just not going to get involved in it anymore. Just take the hit. It's a whipsaw market. There's no news to drive the market today. There's no reason for this to break out anywhere. It's just stuck. So the only thing I would look at doing on my funded account today is selling highs and buying lows. That's it. So if we're going to stay in rotation, if it breaks out strongly and pulls back, then potentially take a new leg up. But at the moment, it's just an absolute mess. Big, strong moves, but no directional bias. So a load of rubbish today. Right, I've got to go. So I'll be back on Friday morning. Anything you need, let me know. Other than that, have a good day. And I will, sorry, it's a short one, but I will see you on Friday. Have a good one.